Wow, thank you. Thank you. Wow, how do you start after that? Thank you, Sharon, so very much for that very kind introduction. And I asked her to just please introduce me as a Rotarian. But I'm really happy that you didn't say what you could have said, so thank you again. To the north, to the NCPETS, thank you for the great honor and privilege of being here this weekend with you. It's been Pam and I have just simply enjoyed very much getting to meet all of you. District Governor Dave, past district governors, aide to the president, and most of all, our great friend Tom and Kathleen, thank you for your friendship. We appreciate that. District Governor-elects Kay, Sharon, Ed, Shannon, and Dave. And Dave, I will never forget the fact that you're going to walk around for 2 years with an acorn in your pocket. District Governor nominees, and Sharon, thank you for being one of the best hosts we could ever ask. We appreciate that very, very much. You know, one of the activities that my wife and I like to do when we have a spare moment is to watch a good movie. One of my favorite movies of all time, being from the great state of Texas, is a movie that's called City Slickers, starring Billy Crystal. I could have been Billy Crystal. I especially like the scene where Mitch is riding along with Curly, and the conversation goes something like this. As Curly said, what is the one thing? The one thing that I have learned during my 40 years plus of being a Rotarian is how significant our Rotary Foundation is in transforming yours and my gifts into service projects that change lives both close to home and around the world. I have to admit, when preparing for this presentation, I wanted to truly understand the word transformation. So I did exactly what each one of you in this room would have done. I Googled it. I got exactly 4.57 billion hits. That didn't help at all. On a serious note, on behalf of past Rotary International President and current Trustee Chair Barry Rassin, all the trustees, and most important, all of the families in the world that you have transformed, a very, very big thank you for your very generous contributions to the Rotary Foundation, collectively since 1917, a $6.5 billion. We should be all very proud of the impact we have made in the advancement of goodwill, peace, and world understanding by improving the health, by improving quality education, by improving the environment, and by alleviating poverty in the world. In fact, our Rotary Foundation has received just this year, for the 15th year in a row, from Charity Navigator, the largest and most prestigious independent evaluator of nonprofit organizations in the United States. We are in the top 1% of all of the charities in the United States, and we all should be very proud of that. As Sharon indicated, many of you or may or not know, but I'm a retired CPA, and that's not easy to be or to live with one. Just ask my wife. The problem is you're always looking at numbers. When I was selected to be a Rotary Foundation trustee, I had to look at a few numbers. And quite frankly, I was surprised and very disturbed with what I saw. I discovered that only 39% of all Rotarians in the world give to our Rotary Foundation. I also discovered that only 12% of all Rotarians give to our corporate project, Polio Plus, with the purpose of eradicating polio in the world. Your contributions are needed even more today, since we are the founding partners of the global polio eradication initiative that started over 35 years ago. As of yesterday, I am very proud to tell you that we only have 12 cases of wild polio in the world, 6 in Afghanistan and 6 in Pakistan. Those numbers have not changed since December 6th of 2023. Hopefully we are at the beginning of a required 3-year period of no cases. We are truly almost there, and we simply cannot stop at this point. If all eradication efforts were stopped today, within 10 years, polio could paralyze as many as 200,000 children each year. I urge all of you to give to this worthwhile cause. You know, I have to admit, I was one of those Rotarians that never gave to our Rotary Foundation. In fact, I gave just a little to keep the district foundation chair off my back. My contributions to the Rotary Foundation significantly changed in February of 2006, when I was selected to be a group study exchange leader to the Philippines, funded by our Rotary Foundation. I had already served as a district governor. I went through all the 3 years of training, and quite frankly, I thought I knew and I understood the work of our Rotary Foundation until I saw the great work that we do in third world countries. The Philippines is a country that is the same size as the state of Arizona, but one difference. Arizona has 5.7 million people. The Philippines has over 90 million people. I'm not embarrassed to tell you that I took for granted the value of my clean water. I took for granted my wonderful clean bed that I have each and every night. And I certainly took for granted the decent food that I am privileged to have each and every day until I had it taken away from me for an entire month. When I had to drink what they called distilled water each and every day. When I showered each and every day with a cold bucket of water, and I can tell you, I don't like cold showers. When I slept on the floor most of the evenings. When my meal every day was a monkfish that was dried on the street and served over rice. During that month, I lost 17 pounds. Leading a group study exchange was truly the best assignment that I have ever had in my years of being a Rotarian. As some of you know, I truly love children. And so when I visited the Philippines, I took with me 1,000 toys to give to the children that I met along the way. Our team gave 46 presentations in 30 days. So while we were traveling, we saw millions of children. Many times the children would run up to me, pull on my shirt, pull on my pants, something quite frankly I never got used to. I thought that they just simply wanted my toys. My Rotarian host looked at me and said, "They simply want to touch you. You are a God. You bring hope to them. Think about that obligation." One day our team was taken to a Rotary project in a distant village. The small local club was providing food, clothing, water, restrooms, a school, and even medical care. During the visit, I became surrounded by approximately 40 children in an open field, when one beautiful girl, who I wish I knew their name, came up to me. She grabbed my hand and she placed it on her forehead, and she put it back down. I asked one of my local Rotarian aides who was there what she was doing. With tears coming down his cheek, he said, "She gave you the only gift she could ever give you. She blessed you." Then all of the other 39 children blessed me that day. I'm not embarrassed to tell you that that little girl, in her act of kindness, has absolutely, truly changed my life forever. I know this sounds strange, but I realized that very day that our actions may be small, but the actions of the foundation do make a difference. They truly change what we do across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. Those activities, no matter how small, do make a difference in the lives of others. Try this sometime. Ask your children, ask your grandchildren, what do they remember most about their childhood? Their answers can be quite surprising. They remember events that have been long forgotten, simple moments that just happen as part of normal life. Yet they create profound memories in these children. One day I asked our youngest child, Brian, he's now 38. Our family calls him the Booper. God, he would get mad if I told you that. I asked him what he remembered most about his childhood. I thought it would be something really cool. It had to be one of our wonderful family vacations that we took each and every year. That didn't even make the list. How about the time that we rode down a volcano on bicycles in Hawaii at 4 a.m. in the morning? Boy, did I hear about that one. How about the time that his soccer team won first place when I was his coach? Like I had something to do with it. It had to be this one. How about the time that he caught the 28-pound king salmon in British Columbia? Being from Texas, I told him it was a 50-pounder. None of these made the list. What he told me he remembered most was the time when Pam and our other two children were gone for the evening, and the two of us laid on the cool deck in our backyard with our feet in the pool, and we counted stars. You see, it's the little moments and the actions that make a difference in the lives of others. That ending starts tonight, and it starts with all of you. Being involved with the Rotary and the Rotary Foundation has made me also realize that the great American philosopher Forrest Gump was right. See if you remember this particular famous scene. Yes, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. All of us in this room have been very, very blessed. And to prove that, I would like to try something for you tonight. I don't want to ruin our wonderful dinner that we had tonight, but I would like to share with you a sample of water. Now, I'd like all of you to do something for me. To yourself, slowly count to 8, beginning right now. Do you realize that a child just died? It's hard to conceive, but every 8 seconds, a child somewhere in the world dies from water-related disease. Over 4,000 children today. Water just like this. None of us in this room would ever think about drinking it, taking a bath, a shower, or even washing our hands or clothes in it. And just think, our Rotary Foundation has 6 other areas of focus that you can contribute to and make a difference. Making a difference with our Rotary Foundation, yes, starts with a contribution, but it also starts with utilizing the greatest asset that Rotary has, and that is our global network of people that are simply wearing a little emblem called a Rotary pin. Individuals who invest their time, their money, their talent into priorities that make a difference. I'd like to share with you a story of how important this global Rotary network is in working with the Rotary Foundation. One of the things that I really love doing is playing a really good game of golf. And I'll wait for the slides to show up. Okay, there we go. So I try to play a game of golf with some friends of mine that I would like for all of you to meet. Their name is Joe and John Gilbert. They're brothers. One is a lawyer, one is a CPA. Quite frankly, a very dangerous combination on the golf course. Joe is not the best golfer in the world, but we need him because he books all of our tee times on his credit card. Years ago, I was playing in a small tournament organized by Joe. Knowing that I was a Rotarian, Joe introduced me to another Rotarian that was one in the other foursomes. His name was Mike Ryan from the Park Ridge Rotary Club in Chicago, Illinois. Mike and I, like all Rotarians, described our Rotary Club, and we bragged about the various projects of our club and our districts. Mike said that one of his club projects that he was doing was building homes down in Haiti with Habitat for Humanity. During the conversation, Mike introduced me to one of his friends, a retired non-Rotarian, Dr. Dennis Gates, who traveled to Haiti with the Rotarian Club several times a year to help out in every way he can. Dr. Gates began to describe a little boy named Benjamin. Even though I have never met Benjamin, I would like all of you to meet Dr. Gates, Benjamin, and his mom. Dr. Gates says that Benjamin was 7 years old. He had blue lips, blue fingernails, and was gasping for breath. And he's simply going to die very, very soon. Dr. Gates had been working for over 2 years to try to get some kind of assistance for Benjamin, with no luck at all. I responded to Dr. Gates that Benjamin had a congenital heart defect. Dr. Gates asked, "Are you a doctor?" And I said, "No, I'm a CPA." He said, "How in the world would a CPA know about Benjamin's illness?" I told him that I had the honor and the privilege several years ago to serve on the board of directors of an organization called Gift of Life, an organization that was started as a Rotary project back in 1974 by a Rotarian in the Manhasset, New York Rotary Club named Tony Zeno. An organization started by one Rotarian that today has provided over 40,000 free open heart surgeries. Again, if you do the math, assuming that a surgery costs $100,000, this Rotary organization started by that one individual has provided over $4 billion of service to the children of the world that needed it. Dr. Gates said, and I quote, "Rotary does hearts?" I said, "Yes, Dr. Gates, Rotary does hearts. In fact, we impact millions of hearts around the world." I asked Dr. Gates to please send me Benjamin's medical records, including his echocardiogram. He was so impressed that the CPA could say echocardiogram. I did tell him that I couldn't spell it, but I could pronounce it. After receiving Benjamin's medical records, I sent them to 8 chapters of a Rotary Gift of Life program that I was familiar with. Instantly, a past district governor I've known for many years, Robbie Donato of the New York Gift of Life program, immediately wrote me back to inform me that their chapter was currently in Haiti with funding from the Rotary Foundation. They had a surgical team down there, and they were performing open heart surgeries for the needy children in Haiti. Robbie asked me if there's any way that I could get Benjamin to the clinic to be evaluated as soon as possible. I called Dr. Gates and I asked him if they could find Benjamin and have him and his family visit the clinic in Port-au-Prince that week. He said, and I quote, "Greg, you are nuts. I've been told that before. Things don't move very fast in Haiti," he said. Benjamin is in the village of Lagan, 8 hours away by car, and travel on heavily potted dirt roads. That week, I happened to be in Evanston for an investment committee meeting. And I happened to be sitting next to past Rotary International Director at that time and current chair of the Rotary Foundation, Barry Rassin. Part of Barry's responsibility is Haiti. I told Barry the story that Benjamin needed to get to the clinic. So Barry immediately sent some emails to his friends in Haiti. Lo and behold, the father is located by Rotarians. And yes, they are willing to bring Benjamin, his mom, and dad to the clinic, but they have no transportation. So Barry sends some more emails. More Rotarians in Haiti are contacted. They found a car, but they have no gas. More Rotarians are contacted. A Rotarian has some gas. Those of you that have been in third world countries, you know that gas is sold and delivered in Coke bottles. They put the car into the gas, but the car won't start. More Rotarians in Haiti are contacted, and they find a motorcycle. They take the gas out of the car, and they put it into the motorcycle, and lo and behold, it runs. Somehow, some way, the family is on the way to the clinic. 3 adults, 1 child with a heart defect on 1 motorcycle. Can you simply pause for a moment and think of the fear and the hope of those parents? I think about poor Benjamin hanging onto the back of the motorcycle. After 7 hours of driving, they arrive at the clinic at 8 a.m. Benjamin is evaluated, and the following day at 7 a.m., he receives his free open heart surgery, the last spot on the schedule. All of this took place in less than 2 weeks, all because Rotarians and the Rotary Foundation wanted to make a difference and provide simple humanitarian service. You know, I just communicated with Dr. Gates not long ago, and here is a current picture of Benjamin. The smile tells the story. Benjamin is now running and playing with all the other children with a wonderful, wonderful, healthy life ahead of him. I'm very proud to share this story with you because the Rotary Foundation has allowed ordinary people like myself, Robbie, Mike, Dr. Gates, who by the way is now a Rotarian, and Barry to do an extraordinary thing. I, like you, will never be able to meet Benjamin except through these pictures. But what I do know is that this beautiful world is a better place because of our Rotary Foundation. And I hope someday that Benjamin becomes a Rotarian and pays it forward. As we move forward in Rotary, I hope we always remember to take care of our youngest generation. If you think about it, our greatest gift to the children of the 21st century is very simple. It's a world of understanding, goodwill, and peace. I'd like to share one last story with you. Several years ago, I was dreading going to my 7 a.m. Rotary Club meeting after returning very late from a finance committee back in Evanston. The program that day was given by a lady approximately 55 years of age. Her name was Pam, and she came from Australia. Pam had a daughter who was a youth exchange program in Tapachula, Mexico. Pam's daughter was in the last week of her youth exchange, so Pam decided to visit the daughter's Rotary host family. While there, the Rotarians from the Rotary Club at Tapachula took Pam to their project, which was an orphanage for children who had been sexually abused, found on the street, sniffing glue and sniffing paint. There were 8 children in the home. Like a caring mom, Pam asked the mom what she needed. The host mom said, "It really doesn't matter," because she was walking away from the orphanage the following week. Pam asked, "What's going to happen to the children?" The host mom replied, "The children will simply have to go back to where they came from." The next part of this story is almost hard to believe, but it's a true gift of humanitarian service. Pam called her husband, Alan, who was still in Australia, and told him to sell everything that they owned, as the two of them were moving to Tapachula to run the orphanage. After the meeting that I didn't want to attend, I did something that each one of you would have done. I asked Pam what she needed. Her reply was, "Really?" I knew I was in trouble. The children, as you can imagine, needed everything. They needed beds, they needed sheets, they needed chairs, they needed books, they needed clothes, they needed clean water, they needed a kitchen, and most important, what they need was playground equipment. After providing a very detailed budget, thanks to several Rotary clubs and several districts utilizing their district designated funds, in less than 10 days, a $48,000 matching grant was completed and funded by our Rotary Foundation. I have to admit, when I have coffee each and every morning, I often think of Pam and Alan and the commitment that they make to these children each and every day. You see, Pam and Alan are no longer the parents to 8 children. Today, Pam and Alan are now the mom and dad to 80 children. Can you simply imagine what that's like? You know, they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. I'd like to end my presentation tonight with a video that I put together for you. The song was written and sung by a Rotarian that Pam and I met several years ago at District 7610 conference we were attending. The video was put together to remind all of us that individuals under the age of 24 make up 35% of our population, but they make up 100% of our future. As you view the video, I ask you to do one thing. Look into the eyes of the children, and you will see what I have learned by being a Rotarian, and that the Rotary Foundation is really a 4-letter word. That word is hope. We bring hope to millions and millions of children around the world each and every day. As we go our separate ways after this weekend, I will hope you continue to contribute or begin contributing and get involved in our incredible Rotary Foundation. Thank you for allowing us to be here this weekend. Thank you for listening, and God bless you all for the work that you do for Rotary and the Rotary Foundation. Thank you very much.